November 2025 is surprisingly abundant for the Nintendo Switch 2. We are getting cozy adventures, big budget brawlers, and a few surprises I honestly didn't see coming. A couple of these do have Switch 1 versions, but I'll be predominantly focusing on the Switch 2. Today we are going through 9 upcoming releases that are definitely worth keeping an eye on. Whether you're into platformers, anime fighters, or story-driven indies, there's something here for everyone. So grab a brew, get comfy, and let's dive in. Up first is Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I know it isn't the Zelda game we were hoping for, and to be completely honest, I never played the original after seeing the performance on the original Switch. But for what it's worth, not only does this look vastly improved in regards to performance, the tone, atmosphere, and overall look of the game is leaps and bounds ahead of its predecessor. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment brings the series' signature large-scale battles to the Switch 2, running smoother and flashier than ever. It's set generations before Breath of the Wild, focusing on the origins of Hyrule's ancient conflicts. The new engine delivers denser crowds, faster action, and real-time weather effects that add intensity to each battlefield. These warrior-style games can get repetitive and aren't for everyone, but with its upgraded visuals and performance, this looks like the most polished version yet, and the perfect way to show off the Switch 2's power. I'll probably be waiting on a full performance review for this one because I'm not entirely convinced it will handle those super dense fights, but here's to being cautiously optimistic. I have a lot more faith in those games specifically designed for the Switch 2 only. Even if it isn't true, I always have a feeling that if available on both systems, it's built up rather than built down, and it always affects the Switch 2 version the most. Age of Imprisonment releases on November 6th, so we don't have long to wait. It's available digitally on the eShop for £58.99 or your regional equivalent, and physically at retailers for £56.99. Again, adjust the currency appropriately. And from Hyrule's chaos to something far more mysterious and heartfelt, Goodnight Universe is one of the most unique story-driven games hitting the Switch 2 this month. You play as Isaac, a 6-month-old baby with a fully developed consciousness, capable of telepathy, telekinesis, and awareness far beyond his years. What sounds absurd on paper quickly becomes emotional and deeply human. As Isaac, you'll experience family life from a crib's perspective, forming bonds, exploring your limited world, and trying to protect your loved ones from a mysterious corporation eager to weaponize your powers. The presentation is cinematic and surreal, blending gentle humor, warm domestic detail, and bursts of sci-fi tension that keep you on edge. It's an unusual mix of heart and high concept, balancing satire and sincerity beautifully. Some players might come for a weird premise, but most of you will stay for how surprisingly touching it turns out to be. If you're into cozy, emotional storytelling with subtle gameplay, this might be one of November's most unique releases, and also one of its cheapest ones, at just £16.99 or your currency's equivalent, and is available digitally on the eShop from November the 11th. It looks like a physical release is planned, but it is currently slated for release on December 9th, and will cost you £24.99 in the UK, and similar prices in your respective regions.
Let's just agree that you're anything but normal.
Now let's trade dreamscapes for street fights and sharp suits. The Yakuza Kiwami bundle finally brings both modern remakes of the PS2 classics together for Nintendo players. These aren't quick ports, they are full-scale remasters with reworked visuals and 60 FPS performance on the Switch 2. These action RPGs will have you stepping back into the life of Kazuma Kiryu, torn between loyalty, crime, and redemption across 2 sprawling, interconnected stories. Between the serious drama, there's karaoke, arcades, and endless distractions. It's the perfect mix of heartfelt storytelling and absurd side content. Each game offers 30 to 40 hours of content, so this bundle's easily one of the best value packages of the month. This bundle is releasing on November 13th and is available on the eShop for £44.99 or your regional equivalent. You can also buy the games individually for £24.99 each. I have yet to dip my toes into any of the Yakuza games, but it is such a huge fan base, I really should start somewhere to see what it's all about. Let me know which game is the best to jump into for a first timer. From organised crime to organised chaos, let's talk about squirrels with guns. And yes, it's as mental as it sounds. You are a squirrel, you have a gun, chaos ensues. From what I can tell, it's an open sandbox where physics and utter nonsense rule. Originally a meme-worthy viral indie, it's now been rebuilt for the Switch 2 with smoother controls and a surprisingly fun mission system. You will steal snacks, outwit secret agents, and cause mayhem with your tiny paws and absurd firepower. This is pure slapstick fun, just laying in awe of the absurdness of it all. It's short, silly, and endlessly memeable, but that's its charm. Perfect for when you just need a good break from heavy, story-driven games, or just from life in general. I can't say it's too calming though, but it's just pure, dumb fun. This is slated for release on November 18th and will be available digitally on the eShop, but it currently isn't up for pre-order. It is available physically at retailers for £34.99 in the UK and likely similar prices in Europe, the US and Canada. Speaking of chaotic fun, an old favourite is getting a fresh spin, and a franchise that I'm very familiar with. The Atelier Ryza Secret Trilogy Deluxe Pack is a bundle including all 3 Atelier Ryza titles, fully remastered for the Switch 2. Faster loading, sharper visuals, and every DLC costume and quest included. It's the ultimate version for anyone who loves gentle JRPG exploration and alchemy systems, and in my opinion contains 2 of the best Atelier games in the franchise. You will follow Ryza's journey from curious island girl to full-fledged alchemist across 3 connected adventures, blending cozy slice-of-life storytelling with turn-based combat. Each game rewards creativity, crafting, gathering, customizing gear, and decorating your base. It's bright, soothing, and endlessly replayable. This bundle releases on November 13th and is available digitally on the eShop, but it does come at a cost. £73.99 or your regional equivalent. It's still cheaper than buying the original 3 games separately, and that's without the enhancements. But as I said, this is 3 full-length adventures with all of the DLC, and in my opinion is worth every penny. You can buy the titles individually for £32.99 or your regional equivalent, but if you are only looking to buy one, I would personally recommend the 3rd game. In my opinion, they get better sequentially. Not sure if that's a hot take or not. And just on a side note, I think there will be a physical available, but only through PlayAsia. No links or anything, that's just the only place I've seen one. And moving on from cozy alchemy to raw energy. It's time to charge up with Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And after years of waiting, Sparking Zero revives the Budokai Tenkaichi legacy. Fast and explosive 3D battles with over 160 playable characters. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, but I'm ashamed to admit I've never played a Dragon Ball game besides the Game Boy Color version. But I am 100% going to pull the trigger with this because it looks breathtaking, and it might just pass some time until Super comes back, if it ever does. It was designed from the ground up for the Switch 2's new hardware, with fluid movement, destructible environments, and cinematic camera work that makes every beam clash feel like the anime itself. The roster spans every saga from Dragon Ball Z to Super, and the early previews suggest near instant load times between fights. Sure, it's pure spectacle, but that's exactly what the fans wanted, whether you're chasing nostalgia or diving in fresh. This one's bound to dominate November's fighting game scene. Dragon Ball Zero releases on November 17th and is available digitally on the eShop for £54.99 or your regional equivalent. And having just checked, this does actually have a Switch 1 release, which really surprises me. It is currently available physically for £57.99 for both Switch 1 and Switch 2 in the UK, and likely similar prices in your respective countries. Next up, we're swapping Key Blasts for Soccer Balls, with a legendary return. I can't believe I just said soccer. Inazuma 11 finally returns, blending JRPG storytelling with arcade-style football matches. You'll build a team, recruit characters with unique special moves, and take on over-the-top rival squads. I have a few of these games in my 3DS collection, but I have played very little of them. I always wanted them to play more like Blitzball from Final Fantasy X. Don't ask me why. I know this franchise is hugely popular and successful, it just never really pulled me in. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this game has now been delayed a few times, so hopefully this is a concrete date. The new Momentum Burst system adds dynamic team skills that turn matches into animated showdowns. The art and voice acting have been completely redone for modern hardware, giving the series the glow-up it deserved. Expect about 40 hours of story with deep multiplayer mode for online tournaments. Some might find the anime tone a bit dramatic, but honestly, that's half the fun. It's sports JRPG drama with pure heart rolled into one. Inazuma 11 Road to Victory launches on November 13th. This is definitely one of those games I'd pick up in a sale, but I'm not entirely sold at full price. Speaking of which, it's still not currently up for pre-order on the eShop, and on the official website, the option for Switch 1 and 2 is greyed out, so don't hold your breath. Now, let's glide from the pitch to the skies, because Kirby's back. Kirby Air Riders is finally making its return after 2 decades. This isn't a simple remaster, it's a full reimagining, with online play, new courses, and buttery smooth 120 FPS performance on the Switch 2. The series keeps the same easy-to-learn, hard-to-master racing style, letting you glide through arenas, collect power-ups, and battle friends in split-screen or online. It's pure joy in motion, fast, colourful, and chaotic in the best way. Some might say it's light on content, but its replayability and charm make it perfect for short, fun sessions. Kirby's return is pure nostalgia, and it's shaping up to be one of November's standout releases. For all of the fans, of course. Personally, I don't have too much to say on this. It's just not for me. It looks like it could have some fun moments, but it just looks like a blend of too many games rather than focusing on one niche or dynamic. But what do I know? It could end up being Game of the Year. Releasing on November 20th, Kirby Air Riders is available digitally for £58.99 and physically for £56.99. Obviously, convert the currency where required. And finally, let's end with something nautical, nostalgic, and just plain fun. Spongebob's newest outing dives deep, literally, into a spooky, undersea storyline where ghost pirates threaten Bikini Bottom. This one mixes 3D platforming with puzzle elements and plenty of humour, pulling inspiration from Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, but expanding its world and mechanics. You'll switch between Spongebob, Patrick and Sandy, each with unique abilities while exploring sunken ships and haunted reefs. The visuals are bright, fluid and full of Easter eggs for long-time fans. And whilst this one does look packed with personality and polish, I have to be honest, every Spongebob game I have tried on the Switch to date has been garbage. Krusty Cook-Off, Cosmic Shakedown and the Patrick Star game. They were mediocre at best, and the Cook-Off game was just tough to play. I've heard slightly better things about Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which this game seems to draw more inspiration from. So here's to being hopeful. SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of Tide releases on November 18th and is available digitally on the eShop for £34.99 or your regional equivalent, and does actually have a demo, so that will be interesting to try. It will also have a physical release, which is currently available for £29.99 in the UK, and likely similar prices in your respective countries. And there you have it. 9 games launching on the Nintendo Switch 2 this November. A surprisingly solid month, all things considered. Hopefully, the Switch 2 conveyor belt can start ramping up now, as it has been a little underwhelming of late. Which game are you most excited for? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll be covering more Switch 2 updates, launch dates, and eShop sales roundups every week. So, until next time, thanks for watching, stay cozy, I'll see you around.